few more people entering, but we will start now. So hi everyone, welcome to our design and Feng Shui webinar with our special guest friend, who's also our professional stager. So feel free to ask friends or any of the Modern Family Realtor agents any of your toughest questions. I'm especially excited to learn more today from the experts since I recently purchased a 5-bedroom investment property that definitely needs a lot of design and renovation tips. My husband, Ewan, who's on the call as well, knows more than I do on this topic. He mostly complains about my kind of unique taste in decor. I have a ping pong table in my office, so he wasn't too happy with that one. But yeah, no, we're very excited to have everyone today. The format for today's webinar is very casual. We'll do quite a quick introduction so you get to know everyone a little bit more. We have some preloaded questions that were submitted in advance that we're going to ask Fran and our team members. And then Fran's going to give us some tips on some design and Feng Shui. We're going to address all your questions in the chat box, so feel free to ask any questions you want, and we'll get to that in the middle of the presentation. And then we're going to end off with the first-time home buyer presentation to give you a little bit more information on some of our programs. So as most of you know, my name is Paul Chan. I'm the founder of Modern Family Realtor. We are the #1 team under the #1 brokerage, Right at Home Realty, with 12 branches and over 5,000 agents to serve you. My husband Ewan and I started this business with our daughter when she was born just about 7 years ago. So her birthday was just 2 years ago. So it was a big milestone for us. And we really do appreciate everyone's support. Now we have 9 agents and incredible business partners to help support all of our clients. So we're going to first start off with Fran, our special guest. Fran, if you can introduce yourself and give a little background to everyone.
Hi, everyone. My name is Fran, and first I want to say thank you to Modern Family Realtors for giving me this opportunity. I really enjoy working with you guys. About myself, I am a home stager and decorator and also Feng Shui consultant, and I have bachelor's degree in architecture. After years of working as a designer and project manager, I started my dream job as like a decorator.
Excellent. Thanks, Fran. And I'll introduce our co-host, Anna.
Hi, everyone. My name is Anna. I started with this amazing team in real estate a couple of months ago. Absolutely love it so far. I'm very excited to have you today join our webinar. We hope you enjoy it. And like Paul mentioned, if you have any questions, feel free to ask us.
Excellent. And next we have Ewan, our marketing director, and my husband.
Hey guys, so I'm part of the Modern Family Realtor team. I've done sales and marketing for the last 20 years. And as Paul mentioned, about 7 years ago, our lives changed when we welcomed Jasmine, our daughter, into our world. So at that point, we decided I focus entirely on real estate. I've also worked as a mortgage agent for TD Bank for a while. So if anyone has any marketing or mortgage related questions, I'm happy to help.
Excellent. Thank you, Ewan. Anthony, our condo guru, is he there?
Hi, everybody. My name is Anthony Lance. I've been with the Modern Family Realtor team now for 4 years, real estate for 5. I specialize here in Toronto, downtown condos. I've been working in sales for the last 12 years.
Excellent. Thanks, Anthony. Teresa, our West End expert.
Hi, everyone. My name is Teresa Nguyen. I've been with Modern Family, I think, for around 4 years as well. I changed over from public accounting I have a CA designation as well, but real estate's always been something that I love. So I made the transition a few years back and it's been great ever since. So I specialize mostly, like Paul said, in the West End. I do residential and I do a lot of investment properties for my clients as well.
Excellent. Thank you, Teresa. Jordan, our downtown expert.
Great, thank you, Paul. My name is Jordan Martin. So I joined the Modern Family team last year. As Paul said, I focus on the downtown core, both with condos and freehold. I also have a background in architecture, so I find a lot of clients find that beneficial when looking at properties. Really excited to have Fran here with us today as well.
Excellent. Thank you, Jordan. I think Camilo just joined us as well.
Hi everyone, sorry it's a bit late for the client. As Paul mentioned, my name is Camilo Gamis. I joined Modern Family recently, about probably month and a half ago. I specialize a lot with leases in the downtown core, condominium, first-time home buyers, and I have a background in marketing. So I try to leverage that with my clients and help with the team as much as possible.
Great, thanks, Camilo. And Sam, Albert, and Christine, unfortunately, are not available right now, but they're also on the team and they can answer any of your questions afterwards as well. So I'm going to hand it off to Anna to start with the Q&A session.
Thanks, Paul. Okay, so we're going to start with some questions that have been submitted to us prior to the webinar. And if you guys have any other questions or you need any clarifications, please feel free to jump in or just message in the chat box and we will try to address them during the call, during the webinar. So the first question is for Fran. Fran, can you explain what exactly is Feng Shui and how does it differ from a standard design?
So Feng Shui is just a combination of art and science. It's coming from 6,000 years ago from Asia, China, but right now, like quantum physics, like from years around 2000, started to prove all of that. So it's a science. It's not just a belief or any religion. Feng Shui is a science. It's the science of how we can bring everything surrounding us in balance. So Feng Shui means wind and water, and they believe that when wind and water is in balance in our environment, so the nature is in harmony. So the same as the design around us. When we have everything in balance around us, we feel happier and healthier. And Feng Shui just brings some techniques. How can we bring everything in balance? And there are modern, like Western ways, the method that I work with. And we have a plan and we divided in 9 different areas. And each area has different elements. So like, Paul, is it possible to share the photo that I sent to you?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. So its whole purpose is that we want to bring all the elements surrounding us into balance. And each client has different needs. Like some people want to just have better relationship, like they have health issue, they have financial issue, they just want to work on that. So this is how we have to just find out what area of their home is in balance and what area is not in balance. It is like, this makes it different from decoration. Decoration, we work on like the style, the function, different elements, but in Feng Shui, we have a style, we have like the function, but we have the energy, we have the flow of energy. This is how we are going to bring everything in balance. Like for example, a family has relationship issue. This is just like a corner, right corner of their home, which is not in balance. So by using the elements, we have 5 elements in Feng Shui: fire, earth, metal, water, wood. By using these elements over there and bringing them in balance, we can make their relationship better. So it's really different, like people for each one of us, because each one of us, we have different numbers, which is calculated by formulas, and according to the number and according to the year that we are in, it's all like different for each one of us. So that's why Feng Shui is different from design, because it's different from person to person. And different from like even decoration too, different from staging too. In the staging, we try to make like everything has to be the same, like good for like 90% of the society. But like at the other hand, for Feng Shui, it's just as I said, person to person, it's different. We have to design it individually for each one. And but there are some, like the method that I said, it has a map, we work on that. And we also like some houses doesn't have regular shade. So they have missing area. Like imagine like a relationship area is missing in a house. So we have to find out what is missing in their life and add that energy to their life. And what else I can add here? There are there are some techniques for each room, which is different. Again, I can say like it's the same for everybody. It might be different when we get to just personal consultation with people. Like for example, like front entrance. Front entrance is the place that the energy, the chi, enters our house. It's very important, which is very neglected in many of our houses, and we're not paying attention to foyer. It must be decluttered completely, and it's recommended to use crystal chandeliers to bring energy imbalance over there, because we really don't know what is coming in. So by using crystals over there, putting a mat with the same width of the door, that is really good there. Or using indoor a small water fountain, we can enhance the energy in our entrance. So another thing, like backyards, for backyards, it's good to have like some trees around our backyard or like fences. That gives the sense of protection, as our exterior is protecting the interior. So we have to pay really good attention to exterior, to curb appeal, to a well-maintained curb appeal. It's like in home staging, to shows that the interior is really maintained properly by the owner too. Like another tip that I can say for living room, it's recommended in Feng Shui to not to put the sofa in front of window. That I see many people do that. It's against it blocks the flow of energy. We have to put the sofa on the biggest wall of the living room, not in front of the window. Or adding mirror. Adding mirror is recommended. In like how it's different from decoration. In decoration, we say that mirror helps the space to look bigger and brighter. In Feng Shui, we have different approach. We say that mirror brings more prosperity to the table. So it's recommended to put the mirror in dining room, by the dining room, because it doubles the area, doubles the prosperity which is on the table for people. And you know, like quantum physics is talking about vibration. So like it's a like a really complex field. I don't want to talk about quantum physics, but like if I make it very short, it says that we are all vibrating photon of lights. So it's the same in Feng Shui. So whatever is happening outside as a flow of energy, it goes inside us, influences us. Whatever we have inside us just manifests outside. So whatever we're doing, all the changes that we are making to our environment, gonna just go and reflects in our inner side. For example, like bedroom. Bedroom is a place that we must feel relaxed over there. It's a detoxing area. We rest to get rid of all the negative energy that we absorb during the day, like while we're sleeping. So it's really important to make that a space relaxing. And what I see that in some bedrooms, like we call it poison arrow. Poison arrow is like a sharp corners, furnitures which have sharp corners facing to the bed, and people really don't know. It is just poison arrow, which is not really good. The remedy that we can use is just repositioning the furniture or like putting a rug over there, and just keeping in mind that while we are buying furniture, we should buy like the curved edge ones, not like the sharp ones. It's really important in Feng Shui. Or I can say another recommendation is having balance and symmetry in design. This is like different from decoration. In modern decoration, sometimes we don't have symmetry. This is like different from Feng Shui. But in Feng Shui, we say that we should have symmetry, and how we achieve it, like putting side tables by the sofa, and two like tall lamps, as Paul and Teresa have seen a lot. I always do that. I always have side tables and lamps, like to feel the symmetry, to have the symmetry, because when people come in, they don't have to get confused with the design. They just have to immediately feel relaxed. They want to feel that I want to stay over here. This is where I wanted to be. And that symmetry helps. So having nightstands with like lamps on top of that, that's going to give that feeling of symmetry and balance. Another recommendation is using plants. Plants, they produce active chi. They produce clean energy. They they refresh the air. So, and they are live. So it's really recommended to use plants in our design, like everywhere, like even like in bathroom. Bathroom is full of negative energy, and we have to put like candles, plants over there, and clean it regularly. Another very important like recommendation is decluttering. Clutter is negative energy. Clutter blocks the energy, and we are not aware of that. Clutter keeps us in the past, and while we're living in the past, we can't be present at the moment to make our future. So we must just let it go, and this letting go is sometimes difficult because of our attachment, because we feel lonely after just letting go of this clutter, and we are attached to that. So it's recommended to put first step to buy decorative bins, put our clutter into those bins, and just keep them away, like in a garage for a while, to see how, if we can just let them go, if we don't see them. And like after 3 months, 4 months, we just little by little, we can just let them go, donate them or sell them, something like however, like each one is prefer. So yeah, that's it.
That's a very detailed description. Thanks, Fran. Things that I actually didn't even realize. So that was very useful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the next question. And I think some of this has been covered by Teresa. If you were to talk about 5 styling secrets that will make your home look amazing, what would those secrets be?
Sorry, Teresa, I think you're on mute.
Sorry, I always do this. Thanks, Anna. So yeah, you're right. A lot of the things that I would do, to make my home stand out, whether you're selling or just to make yourself feel more comfortable in your own space. Some of it's already been discussed by friends, so I'll go over it quickly. But the number one thing is always declutter. Declutter and organize. You'd be surprised, you wouldn't think that people that come and visit your house would look into your closet, under your cabinets, but they do. And so just, and that also goes into like, saving space and being able to maximize the use of your space. So it's helpful on both ends, as a homeowner and also if you're looking into selling your home. So definitely declutter is the main thing to making your home look presentable. The second thing I would add is probably give your house a fresh coat of paint if you can. Use neutral colors. I know people love sometimes using colorful rooms for kids and stuff, but you just want somebody to be able to walk in and be able to envision any use for their room, not just particularly a child's room or something like that. I also like to add a lot of lighting to my house. The permanent way would be to add pot lights wherever possible, but if you can't afford to do that, bringing in standing lights, or like Fran said, having, side table lamps and stuff really brightens up the space. And for me, I'm not a fan of the daylight white light hues. I'm more of a warmer tone. It makes the house feel a lot warmer and inviting, but that's just, again, personal taste for myself. The other thing I would do would probably to update the main living area. So I would say, the kitchen is pretty important, and your bathrooms, and if you can't renovate those as, at a big cost, there's things that you can do now where you can just repaint your cupboards or buy kits to redo your countertops at a much, much cheaper cost, but also updating that, in addition to matching through the color scheme of your house, will also brighten it up and make it, much more newer and better. And the last thing is also the greenery and scented candles. Every time I use Fran, she knows the one thing that I always ask to include in my listings is I need greenery in certain, spaces. It just, for me, the green, it just makes you feel a lot more, I don't know, inviting, healthier. So those would probably be my top 5. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Teresa, do you use live greens, like live plants or floor plants?
I mean, preferably live plants, but I'm just not good at being able to keep any alive. So I've tried it, but, I always had to bring it back to my parents to rescue. And so, I try to have a lot, but, sometimes I just can't manage them all. So I do like them as decor as well, just to give it like, a popping color in the house.
Sounds good. Okay, thank you, Teresa, for sharing that.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. The next question is for Fran again. Fran, what are the current trends in terms of style, color, and design?
So in 2021, we had modern cottage style and like Mediterranean rustic style back. And like the most famous, if I want to describe it, like tan leather was one of the most famous colors in this year, and the combination of tan leather with white and wood. And because 21 is a metal ox year, we have metal in this year, metal element in this year, and we need it in our design. And metal comes out of earth. So like the earth just empowers metal. That's why, outside we see the like earthy colors are very popular in this year. Like, as I say, cottage style, like having tan, beige colors or tan leather, brown colors, especially lots of plants are in this year's style. It's being used. Lots of green is being used. Well, there's no need to share it. This is like this year is earthy colors, which just gives the feeling of being cozy. So combination of brown, white, green, and tan leathers. And which has more sustainable look. And we had this year we had that pop-up of like sculptural furniture design. They're really beautiful. They're like sculpture, like, and the material is like cotton. It's organic, and that came out this year, very popular. But like some of the brands that they carry that, because I think they're not going to last for a long time, I think, because it's more about the form. It's not about the functionality. It's not about being comfortable. It's more about the form, which is like a combination of white and gold. We call it Apple Revolution. It came a while ago and it's still lasting, and I believe that it's gonna last for a while, because it's plain. It doesn't have just it's not very complicated. It's still like we see kitchen white and gold is still the most popular one. Some other styles are coming and going, but these are long lasting. About the color trends this year, as I said, because of the metal and earth, we have what I'm saying is only for design, and I'm just bringing some like from Feng Shui to say that these two are just supporting each other. They are combined. The source is the same. We have gray and yellow. We have pastel green, and like we have pink. We have earthy colors, and at the other hand, we have very sharp designs too. Like this year, floral, sharp colored water wall paper is really popular. So imagine having just a neutral palette and having a sharp floral wallpaper on the corner. So this is really interesting for this year. And also like ocean colors, combination of aqua water, aqua blue and white. this is very popular this year too.
Sounds good. Thank you for sharing that, Fran. Okay, the next question is also for you, Fran. Which stores do you usually shop for items such as decorating materials, paint, construction materials if you need, furniture, and also for flowers? Do you have any favorite stores that you go to that could give you like a good deal, something that you recommend us and our attendees to go to?
I think, I call it home sense shopping. So I think like for all of us living in this city, home sense, like it's more like very comfortable to get to there. I love this store because, it's always full of variety of stuff. But regarding like the other stores, it really depends on the budget. And the style, so because they are all different, and we don't need to pay lots of money to have a beautiful design. Like only by going to IKEA or Stark2, we can have a really beautiful design. But at the other hand, like I personally like Bijam design. This is like very classic and very elegant design. So this is like my other end. So going from IKEA to Bijam, this is like two other ends of a design. And another source that I can say is Artish Outlet, Artica, Raw Concept. These are all stores that I love them, but as I said, it depends on the style and also like the budget, that why we are going to, what is the function that we want to buy. And another, my favorite online store, I can say I love Wayfair. I love Wayfair. They have really good deals over there. They have closeout deals. If you know what you're searching for, once in a while they're on sale. So, and everything can be found there. Even Amazon has lots of items, especially during this past 2 years. They have more products. Before they were cheaper, especially like Wayfarers, but they had really good prices. Right now they have increased the prices because people need it, right? They can't go to the store. But still there are really good deals over there. Like sometimes I can say 80% discount for an item. And it's easy, but we need to know what we want. We need to know the products when we are doing online shopping.
Sounds good. Yeah, I also use Wayfair quite a lot on Amazon too.
Yes.
So, but good to know about the other stores you shop too. So I'll keep those in mind too. Okay, we have a few questions from Rosalind. The first question is, who covers the insurance for a staging company's items? Is it the homeowner's responsibility? Teresa, do you mind just quickly answer this question? I know you've recently dealt with quite a few of
Yeah. Yeah, no, I will. So I think it differs from agent to agent and who you use, but typically for our team, we're a full service, we're full service agents. So within our commission costs, we cover for all of the staging costs, as well as some cleaning and some minor repairs if the property needs it. So we do try to take care of a lot of that on our end for our clients. Yeah.
Thank you. And the second question from Rosalind is, what is the typical ROI percentage in your staging experience? Anthony, do you want to take this question over?
I think Anthony just stepped out. I can try to answer. So it does vary. I would say from my experience, staging does have a very strong ROI. We typically see most of our staging listings go over market value, anywhere from 10,000 to 100,000, depending on the property. But it does really help for bidding wars as well. If any buyers can come in and see a beautiful model home that they could potentially fall in love with and move into, they are typically willing to pay a little bit extra. So it will vary between condos and houses, but we do highly recommend all of our sellers to use our staging, to utilize Fran's experience. We're currently doing one right now in Scarborough. So it's a large house and property. So she just recommended a few painting and renovation items. She'll be staging majority of the house, including 5 or 6 different rooms. And it really kind of, the before and after pictures, which we'll show you later, are incredible. Some of our sellers don't even recognize their property and really sometimes don't want to sell afterwards after seeing what a wonderful job she does. So I think it's definitely a very strong ROI. It does vary depending on the property, but definitely highly recommend the investment. And as Teresa mentioned, Modern Family Realtor does pay for it. So it's included in our fees. So definitely take advantage of that to maximize the price for your property.
Thanks, Paul. Okay, I hope, Rosalind, we answered your questions. If you have any follow-ups, just let us know. Okay, and then moving on to our next question, it's about curtains. How do we choose them and what design works best? So I will try to take over this question. So when it comes to curtains, it really boils down to two things. How much sunlight do you want to let into the room, and the feel of the room itself. So when you're thinking of curtains for bedroom, for example, a lot of people prefer not so much sunlight, so they want to block the light into the room, and they would use a heavier material, for example, a velvet, and they would also use blackout curtains. For rooms like living rooms, kitchens, you would want more light to come in. So it's more welcoming, it's more open, and the fabric that would be better suited for that would be lighter fabric such as sheer lace or lightweight cotton. It also depends on the decor. If you have a more traditional room, you would want something, a heavier fabric. If you have more of a modern room or a minimalism room, then you would want a lighter or a sheer fabric. In terms of colors, you really can do two options. You can harmonize it or you can contrast it with the decor. If you want to harmonize it, you would usually choose a color that goes with the color of the walls. If you want to contrast it, then you would choose a color that goes against the color of the walls and against the color of your decor. And also you can choose to have plain curtains or printed curtains. So printed curtains really add visual volume. If you have more of a modern or simplistic look, you might want to bring in printed curtains, so it adds more of a visual weight. And on the contrast, if you have a heavy decor, then you would want something lighter on the curtains. And the last point I wanted to talk about the curtains is the length. Right now in style is the curtains up to the floor, so full length, maybe slightly even longer. However, you can also choose something that stops at the middle, at the slim of the smaller windows. That's also quite a trend at the moment. So that's about curtains. Okay, the next question is for Fran. Fran, what are the most common decorating faux pas or misconceptions that you notice?
I believe like the most important one is just not considering scales, not having proper scales. It's like using, for example, using too large like furniture, like this big sofa in like a small apartment, or like using a too big rock or too small tiny painting over a big sofa. So this is all goes about proportion. The scales are really important, and we have a rule of like a small, medium, tall. This is a scale that we have to consider, like a coffee table, sofa, table lamp, floor lamp, painting. So they come in different heights. We have to consider all of them. Sometimes it's not like that, so it makes the space like some boring or overcrowded or over decorated. This is very important. Another one is lighting, not paying enough attention to lighting. Lighting is very important. We all need light to live. Sometimes the room is too dark. Sometimes, as Teresa said, like we have a white lamp in living room. This is not good. Like if we have the white color like in bathroom or like kitchen, it's okay because that gives that feeling of cleanness, but it's not needed in a living room. So just paying attention where to use like each one of this is very important. These are or like over decorating, using too much decorations. Most of the time when we go like into houses, like we have to just go one by one to just put the small decors away, like just use just some of them. The people are tending to over decorate or putting too much cushions on sofa or on bed. This just makes it very busy and complicated.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Fran. We have a question for you, actually, Fran, from one of our attendees. The question is, are dark hardwoods out of trend and style completely? What can we do with the flooring if it can't be changed to add more brightness feeling into it?
Yes, it's going out of trend right now. Now we're going into more neutral light colors. That is right. But if the easiest way is just putting the area rock over there, just a brighter, lighter area rock, and it's going to do the work. It's going to have really great influence on the decor. Yeah. I'll replace it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Okay. The next question is for Jordan. How do you decide which style and which color to choose when decorating a home or condo?
Yeah, thank you, Anna, for that question. So that's a really good question. I don't think it really comes down to use modern, to use a contemporary, traditional style. It really depends on what that space is. So I might walk into space, Fran might walk into the space, and you may have it be more contemporary, but looking at the actual style of the condo, let's say the cupboards, what are the cupboards? What style is that? What about the washrooms? So the existing finishes within that space. So you may have it as more contemporary or traditional, but Fran or one of us might come in and say, you know what, we actually think we should change it. So it has more of a fluid look to it throughout the space. And another important piece is to also take yourself away from the style as well. So you've lived in that space, let's say for 5-10 years, and it's contemporary in nature. You may think it's perfect and you love it, but we also have to cater to people who are actually going to look at your unit. So what is the demographic? Is it a first-time home buyer? If it is, where in the city is it? King West. So what type of people typically buy in King West? And that's the type of style that we're going to infuse your space with. So you might go from something really traditional to something that's very contemporary. And it's not unlikely that we might actually do like a fuse of both, where we actually do a hybrid and pick a variety of different styles as well. But it's all about really catering to that particular buyer. In terms of color, I'm big on white, making it nice and bright, but there are times you might go into a loft and maybe you have like 15-20 foot ceilings, and maybe you actually want to have an accent wall. So that accent wall could be a color. Maybe it's a big piece of artwork that's put there. So it's a big focal point. And that really ties in with what Fran said earlier, really understanding that space. Where do you put the sofa? Where's the largest wall? What are people really going to focus on? So there's not really one answer to that. Is it traditional, contemporary? It really depends on unit to unit. But our team, Fran, we're all here to work with you on that. Yeah, so hopefully it helps.
Sounds good. And Jordan, when you mentioned about the accent wall, how do you decide which wall would be your accent wall?
Yeah, so that's a great question. A lot of that has to do with furniture placement as well. So where's your bed located? So where's the headboard? So maybe that is the feature wall. So you typically lay there, that's where your head is. That's where people are going to look when they first come into the space. So that could be the feature wall. What about the living room? Could be where your sofa is. So think about your large pieces of furniture and what people are going to draw their eyes to. And also sometimes it has to do with the height elements. You have one wall that, like I said, is 18 feet in height or 20 feet. That is likely going to be a feature wall. When you come in, what wall do you see? So it all has to do with the visual observation of the space.
Understood. Okay, thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
Next question is for you, Fran. What is the easiest decorating change that you recommend that can make the most impact in the look and feel of a room?
I think Teresa just explained completely, like 5 items that she spoke about it was related. I can just answer this shortly. First one, decluttering is very important first step, which is just time consuming for the owner who's living there. But it used to be done by themselves. So first one is that decluttering and using decorative boxes for decluttering to make the process easier and faster. As Jordan said, accent walls have like a huge impact on design. And if we are a bit handy, we can do it by ourselves. So painting a wall is not difficult. If it's fun too, I personally love it. Or adding a wallpaper, it's not difficult. By like watching a YouTube tutorial, it's gonna be easy to do that, and it's cheap. It's not expensive. And lighting is very important, adding table lamp, adding floor lamp, and especially replacing old fixtures. That is really important to do that. It really gives like a really good look. And the crystal chandeliers are recommended. As I said, they have, they balances the energy. Another change, especially like in kitchen, is changing the hardware. We don't have to change the cabinets. We don't have to paint them. Just by changing the the handles, the look gets very different. Just changing it to a modern, like gold one, as I said right now. Still, gold is very popular in design for kitchen and bathroom. And then we get to like adding good accessories like cushions, adding like picture frames, like big artworks that have really great impact. And also adding mirrors is very important. And another thing is rearranging the furniture. After a while, we get used to the way that our furniture is arranged, and we don't know that if we just make a change, it's gonna have a really good influence on everything. So rearrange the furniture is recommended too.
Perfect. Thanks for sharing. Okay, we actually have a question from Rosalind, and so this is a question from Rosalind, and Fran, I will address this to you. The question is, what's the biggest staging mistake you all have seen?
Biggest staging mistakes. I think like the size of the furniture sometimes is not fitting the property and just blocking the way that people are coming in, and when they enter in the room, they're confused, like how they have to just go through all of these furniture, or mixing the style sometimes is not good. The style, it has to be consistent, like room by room. We can't have a traditional living room, and sometimes the owner just want to just decorate only, like for example, only living room and just leaving the bedroom as the way it is. And this is a mistake, because the style has to be consistent. If we have a modern living room, we'd better have like a consistent style in the bedrooms too, because we don't want to just get surprised by going room by room.
Understood. Camila, what about you? What's the biggest staging mistake you have seen?
I would say I was kind of going to go with what she thought about. I've seen a lot of places where the layout, where the way the furniture is structured, kind of made the layout very awkward and not functional. Especially when you're thinking of where you're going to place everything, especially if you're moving from one place to another and you're trying to picture your own furniture in there. I find if the furniture is not set up properly, or it oversizes the room, it can make you think that it's smaller or bigger than it is. And that could be an issue when it comes to actually moving in your own furniture and where you're going to place it.
Yeah, agreed. This is also one of the biggest staging mistakes I've seen, is that the furniture in the rooms doesn't fit well, or it's too big and just makes the room look smaller, or not to its best as it would have looked otherwise. Okay, the next question we have is for Anthony. What techniques design do you find that work best when staging a unit home for sale?
Can you repeat that again, Anna? I'm going to just answer.
Yeah, sure. What technique design do you find works best when staging a unit or a home for sale?
Yeah, okay, that's a great question again. So I think that ties in with what we talked about and with many of the other answers as well, but really understanding the space, also utilizing what's existing, what's already there. So many times when we put a property up for sale, it's owner occupied, and there are some instances where the owner just can't leave that space. So how do we use the existing furniture that's there, and then how do we tack onto that? And that leads into my last answer as well. So sometimes it is a mix and fuse of different styles that come together. We will ask to like declutter some items within the house. We might say, okay, if you have a storage locker, let's get rid of all the artwork that's on your walls. We'll keep your bed frame, and we'll keep, let's say, your sofa, but we might rearrange it and put in a different area. And then Fran may say, you know what, your bedding, that bedding, let's replace that as well. We'll put something that ties in a little bit more with the other accent pieces and decor. So the techniques really do vary depending if it's a empty space, if it's a space you go into and it's owner occupied. So that will vary from client to client. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Fran.
No, that was really good.
Okay. All right, our next question, it's relating to rugs. The question is, which materials are best for rugs in terms of design, feel, and which are easier to clean? So I will take that question. So when it comes to rugs, you really have two options. You have the natural fibers or the synthetic ones. When it comes to natural fibers, the most common rugs would be wool rugs, cotton, or silk. Wool rugs are very comfortable. They're very good to the touch, to the feel, but they're expensive and they are not good with humidity. So they would be high maintenance when it comes to that. Cotton ones are a less expensive option for wool. They're easier to clean, and you can also machine wash them. So cotton ones are definitely a more affordable option than wool. And the last one is the silk. Silk, it's considered a luxurious material. It's more expensive. It also usually you have to dry clean it or take it to professionals. So it is more expensive to maintain. And when it comes to synthetic materials, the most common one is nylon. So nylon is it's affordable, it's similar to polyester, but it is less durable than polyester. One other synthetic material that you can have for your rugs is the faux fur. It's a good alternative for those who cannot afford the natural animal fur, and it is easy to maintain. It's affordable, and you can also wash it in the machine. And actually, one last material that I do want to point out for rugs is the hide. So you have sheepskin or actual natural leather. Sheepskin is very expensive, and it's high maintenance. So you usually use it as decor in low traffic areas, whereas leather is good for high traffic areas. It's less expensive. It's still not cheap, but you can use it in high traffic areas in your house. So that's about rugs. And moving on to our next question is for Camilo. Camilo, how to revitalize our gardens, patios for the summer? What do you recommend?
Oh, thank you, Anna, for the question. So the first thing I would recommend, which is going to sound kind of weird, but is give it a good clean. I found this with my parents' house. When you have, especially if you have a deck or an outdoor wooden area, the deck, if you actually just buy a power washer from Amazon under $100 and give the deck a good clean, it really does change the look of the outside because it brings the wood back. If you want to go a step further, like we did with my parents' house, you can stain it. And there's even now options for staining in color, which is really nice because we stained ours personally from brown where the wood was to a gray with white pillars. So it really kind of created like an outdoor space and gave it a completely different look, especially contrast to the house. So a clean, I would say the first for either outdoor garden, deck, even a balcony. I find a lot of times you go into the balconies and they're not clean. The windows are dusty, and against the condo itself is pretty dusty. So just giving it a good clean. And then the second thing I would say, some simple tricks would be for balcony, you can get cheap flooring from IKEA. And I find that makes a huge difference on the outdoor space in the balcony. because then it feels like an extension of your indoor space when there's actual flooring, and they're not expensive to put into balcony. And then for an outdoor, you were just speaking about it, rugs. There's actually a lot of outdoor rug options, which again, I feel like it extends the indoor space to the outside and makes it feel more of a welcoming and a home environment. And then my third tip would be lighting. I find just simple string lighting on a balcony or even outdoors, trained along the area, really makes a difference to bring the space, to give it more life and extend the time you can use it actually.
Excellent. Thank you, Camille. All great tips. Next, we're going to ask Fran to walk through how to design or stage your home in 7 days. She's got some tips and recommendations for everyone.
Set up your news and we can start see.
Yeah, I'm on my break right now, but we have to finish today.
Hey, Fran, sorry, can you hear me? Can you, would you be able to walk through your presentation? I think you're on mute right now.
Sorry, I was on mute. So here we have a presentation how to make it ready. This is like some kind of concierge real estate that as how a modern family is working like that to show how we just take care of all the process from the beginning till end, and the owner shouldn't worry about anything. This is like a first a realtor and a stager. We go to see the place and just have a consultation, like a step-by-step detailed report how the owner can make their home ready, like how to declutter, what to do, what to move, what to add. Then this is like an example of before after of an occupied apartment. Like you can see the change over here just by adding some decor and with some cushions, and by decluttering we can see that the look is really different and ready to be listed on the market. And well, can you just move? This is just a kitchen. Just see that we haven't done anything, just decluttered and just added like the minimal decor. I personally love minimal decor, so that's what I always do. So, and again, like another service is like helping the client if they need to pack and just bringing the cleaning crew. We have like good cleaners, and the result is guaranteed. And also like if they need help for packing, if they need storage, if whatever is needed, like according to person by person is different, and we can take care of whole process for them. Also, we have access to really good trustworthy contractors if any repair is needed, starting from painting. This was a townhouse in downtown Toronto. They did like some renovations. They did some repairs and renovations. Like they sent contractors. We do all the coordination with the contractors to make it ready for being listed in the market according to the staging rules and what is really popular in the market. Yeah, that is that for again. And why the benefit is that like the realtor and the stager, we know what is going to add to the value of the property. It's not like, for example, if we think that okay, if you're gonna just paint everywhere in a house, it's gonna be expensive. But if you know that like only just we need like to just paint the living room, which we can save money, and because we know how to add to the value of the house, we save time for that too. And yeah, this is just these are the packages that we have for staging, that if you want to just fully stage it, or if it's occupied, it's going to be half a stage, or it's occupied, they're living there, they try to do the minimal decor over there, replace everything. And also we have virtual staging, as it's shown in day 5. If it's not possible for them to bring the furniture over there, we can do virtual staging by having like some professionally taken pictures. We can add furniture to that to be listed in the market. This is it saves money, also shows buyers how it's going to be the final look. And also we do all the coordination with the professional photographers. They comment that the service is just included. And another special service that we have is 3D modeling for staging. And because sometimes the situation is in a way that we can't, it's impossible to stage it by having only the plan. As you see, for this apartment, it was the owner was not they were not able to stage it or even clean the place. So by having the plan, we made the 3D modeling of the plan, and we just virtually staged that, and this apartment was sold like $30,000 over asking in just a day. Yeah, and if anybody needs just any estimate, we can provide it in just in a day, and like 30-minute online consultation if it's needed.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Fran. Thank you for sharing that. We do have one last question I would like to quickly ask Jordan. Some condo corporations do not allow tiles or any floor coverings on the balconies. Would you still stage the balcony given these restrictions? Jordan, what have you seen in your experience?
Yeah, so there's many ways in which you can stage a balcony. So it's not just about floor tiling. You have to think about all the dimensions of the space. You have your floor, you have the walls, the glass panels many times. Sometimes it's concrete. You have the ceiling coverage, but really none of those have to be touched. You have what's fixed, and then furniture, then you have items that you can actually move as well. So that'd be chairs. You can put a little table out there. Maybe you're allowed to put lights out there as well that you can plug in. Many balconies actually have like little outlets you can plug into. I would say you don't want to clutter a balcony either. You want to make it, keep it simple. So you can actually walk out there, you can actually move around it. So making sure it's functional. Another thing you really want to capture too is if you have a balcony that has a really nice stunning view. So maybe you have a view of the CN Tower, the skyline, or maybe it's the water. So how do you really capture that view? So if you put a lot of furniture out there and it's big and large furniture, it's actually going to block it. So try to minimize it. And maybe you face another building. So maybe you want to add a little bit more furniture out to make it feel a little bit more soft and cozy and warm. So it really does depend, but don't think you have to like put tile out there or put something on like the glass panel, because many times the condo board just won't let you do that. But there are techniques around it as well.
Thanks. Thanks, Jordan. Thank you, everyone, for your questions. I believe we answered all of them. If you have anything else, feel free to ask. I'll pass it on right now to Paul. We have 5 minutes left. Paul, would you like to talk about our first-time homebuyer program?
Yeah, no, thank you, Anna. Thank you, Fran, for all your lovely tips and advice today. I know I learned a lot, and I hope everyone else did as well. Thank you, Anna, for hosting today's webinar. So just to wrap it up, just for a couple minutes, here are some of our team members. So feel free to reach out to any of us as well to follow up with any questions. We do have our first-time home buyer program as well. If you guys are interested, book a one-on-one consult with any of our agents, and we will walk you through our 5-step program. I'm not going to go through it today. We have done it in the past, and it is on our website, modernfamilyrealtor.ca. You can check out the first-time home buyer program webinar and get more information, or just send us an email and we can send you all the slides and Excel spreadsheets and walk you and do a one-on-one consult for you guys. So here is the 5-step program, great for first-time home buyers, so feel free to take advantage. And then if you guys also want Fran's slideshow, I can email that to you as well, or her elements table as well, which is very helpful on how to design your home. So just send me a quick email, or if you want a copy of the webinar as well, we can provide that too. And then, yeah, our next webinar is on July 22nd at 7 p.m. We have our VIP Platinum pre-construction expert, Kostas, who will be joining us. So if you are interested in pre-construction in Toronto GTA, which is really hot this year, there's some incredible projects and that are coming up all across the city. We're going to highlight a few of them that we do recommend. So feel free to join that. But yeah, no, it's been an hour. So thank you for taking your time out today to join our team. Hopefully you guys learned something, and feel free to reach out to any of us for any questions or follow-up.
Thanks,
So,
everyone.
thank you guys
Thanks
all.
for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks,
everyone.
guys. Take
everybody.
care. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Fran.
Welcome. Have a great day. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. Have a great day,
Thanks,
everyone.
Fran.
Yeah.